In February 2005, the Njogu Demba Soccer Academy was founded by the Gambian-born international footballer Njogu Demba. Njogu Demba, who was born in the Gambian city of Bakau in the Greater Banjul area, was taken to Sweden by his mother at the age of 9. Since then, he lived in Sweden, where he trained to be a professional player and eventually played in Sweden, Greece, before transferring to Denmark. Since 2005, Njogu had shown so much interest in setting up a standard football academy back home. He then started piling up funds to get the ball rolling. Njogu then bought training kits and equipment from Sweden to the tune of over $150,000, which equivalent to about 5,500 US dollars. The shipping of the container also went up to about 2,500 US dollars. In December 2006, the interns started training with full kits sponsored by Njogu Demba. Later in 2006 in December, the academy benefited from another sponsorship package, this time from his team sponsors Umbro. In January 2007, Umbro sent a package amounting to about 18,000 US dollars. The package includes shirts, shorts, football boots and hoses, first aid gadgets and other training equipment.
Njogu signed a personal contract with the team main sponsor, Umbro. With close collaborations with Umbro, Njogu took the opportunity to discuss his plans in the Gambia with Umbro. This was highly welcomed by the Umbro officials, pledging to support the idea. Njogu's untiring effort to see his dreams come true, a set of football jerseys and materials were ordered through the internet amounting to $180,000. To show his commitment in this noble venture, the goods were sold to Umbro before sending them to the Gambia. The Umbro officials were highly impressed on the steps that Njogu has taken to develop sports in the Gambia. They were able to support the academy by sending a container of 52 cartons of training jerseys and football materials amounting to $500,000. Today, the academy is fully registered as a charitable institution in collaboration with the Gambia Football Association.
Now the academy, which has 125 interns, 100 boys and 25 girls, went through rigorous selection processes before settling down with this number. The trials also include test and friendly matches with other academies in town so as to measure the strength, skills and ability of players before the final selection was done. The Njogu Demba Academy is also the first to come up with girls in a soccer academy. After spending about 2 years, the girls of the academy are now the leading female folk in Gambian football. The academy is also classified into 5 categories. Category 1 has boys between the ages of 7 and 8, and Category 2 deals with boys from 9 to 10 years of age, whilst Category 3 ranges from 11 to 15 years. Category 4 focuses on the boys from 16 to 18 years. Category 5 solely concentrates on the girls. The girls category is coached by a lady, but she is also under the supervision of the head coach of the academy. The academy is also manned by a general coordinator. 5 coaches and football technicians, including veteran national players, are also employed and paid at the end of every month. There are also 11 volunteers who have interest in football development programs. The academy is also managed by a board which has 4 members. These members, including the coordinator and Njogu himself, are responsible for the governing and decision-making processes of the academy. The trainers, coaches and interns meet only on weekends to do their training exercises. From Friday to Sunday, the 125 interns converge on the Bakau School training ground to take both classroom and field lessons on football. As grounds are scarce, the management of the academy settled on a memorandum of understanding with the school authorities to hold their training programs at the school field. The school authorities have been so cooperative that they continued allowing classroom lectures to be held in the school with their personnel as teachers who eventually joined the academic section of the academy. Interns show interest in the lectures and participate with keen interest. In the area of academia, they are also taught the principles of life, discipline among others.
Discipline is very essential in anything that a man does, especially in the game of football. Who can spell discipline for me? Okay? D, one at a time. D, I, S, C, I, P, L, is it E? I, N, E. Is that correct? Yeah.
Classes are also held in the area of health. Notes are given on the impact of drugs, HIV and AIDS, early sex, and other important components on sportsmanship.
Discussing some important points in order to create better understanding for your health, both mentally and physically. And these points include one, drugs. That is to say, the use of illegal drugs. That is cocaine, heroin, etc. These drugs are harmful to our health. So in order to be a good footballer, you have to make by all means not to associate yourself with using drugs. Because even the world governing body of football, FIFA, doesn't encourage the use of drugs with footballers. In that case, you need to avoid using drugs such as cocaine and heroin because it is harmful to your health. So to create a better understanding, I will give you an example. A former World Cup star, or a former world star, Diego Maradona, was once convicted of using drugs in 1994, and then was charged, and then banned from playing football. So as young growing footballers, you have to avoid using drugs in order to pursue your career peacefully, because drugs are harmful to your health, which is a very important effect that you need to understand. And then the second important thing is the use of these other drugs, that is marijuana, alcohol, and cigarettes. When you use these drugs, you become intoxicated, and then you lose concentration. And in that case, if you are playing football, your opponent will force you to play nonsense because you are not in full concentration. So, to give a better approach to the game, you need not to use these drugs because it will affect your health, and then it will affect your state of mind. Another important point that we will discuss about is sex. As you are all young growing footballers, so you need to maintain your physical fitness. Though you are a man, as time goes on, you will need to have sex, particularly if you are married. Okay, but there are some side effects. That is to say, you are young people, you haven't yet got married. So if you want to involve yourself in having sex with girls, You have these sexual transmitted diseases. Nowadays, they are very much rampant. If you involve yourself having sex with a girl who is having this, or you just have sex and then eventually have a sexual transmitted disease, that will affect you as a footballer. Because to be a good footballer, you need to be disease-free. You don't need to have disease inside yourself, inside your body. Because if you have disease, then you will not be in a better position to play the role that you want to play perfectly or properly. So the best way to do that is to abstain yourself from sex as young players, because you don't have wives yet. So you have to abstain yourself from having sex. That is the best way to, pursue, to prepare yourself for your career as a professional footballer in order to play for your nation or to play for your professional, for your future team.
During trainings, trainers and coaches do have direct discussions with interns so as to create conducive environment between them and the interns. For Njogu, he is happy with the way things are going.
The academy is good. So far it's nice. People are concentrating. The kids are still training hard. And we're looking forward to have this good work together with the people around who knows about the academy right now. I've seen a lot of improvements in the kids. Before it was so mixed up, kids were everywhere, but now I see they're in different places with their coaches and their teammates. So it's more focused on the groups now. I know also that the teachers have been talking a lot about discipline. This is what I have seen in the kids. They concentrate on their trainings. Whenever the coaches or the leaders are talking, I see them listen and focusing on what they have to say. I think it's much organized, more organized right now. So I get impressed. Of course, I get impressed because I see new faces again. New kids joining. Umbro, they're still there for my team in Denmark and for me. So I'm still gonna talk to them to get more stuff for the kids down here and more balls, more equipment.
They are working on having their own land, which will be built as a center for excellence.
Land is one of the things that we are working on. We have some applications, but we just have to send them out and see what the government can do. We really believe that they're going to sponsor us with that because it's all our interest. It's going to be room for studies, rooms for locker rooms for dressing, and resting rooms where they can rest after the trainings and even sleeping place. So the kids can sleep weekends, Friday to Sunday, wake up early morning, train, and even kitchen, so they can eat there and relax in the weekends and just concentrate on what they have to do, homeworks and the football.
We are working very, very hard. Kids are very good. We coaches are working very hard to see them perfect. Because as we say, we have long terms for the academy. We also have long times to go with them. At the beginning and now, there is a very, very big improvement. Before 2 years, I promise we'll have a very perfect team.
I'm really happy because the development and every kids are trying to prove their color as a player, and definitely they are dealing with discipline, dead discipline, and definitely nowadays I can see that the whole of the field, everybody have discipline. We've got an improvement because before there was nothing like having a form and a picture of an ID card, membership card, and the office of registration. Before it wasn't like that, and now we have all those facilities. I think this is a better improvement. The players themselves, they're playing good. They're playing good. I wish in the next 6 months or so, we'll prove their really color in the Gambia.
Njogu is making a long-term investment in the academy, and he hopes that in not more than 2 years, they will build up a team that will compete in the Gambia Football Association Division 1 League.
we expect to have a strong team within 2 years' time if the kids are training really hard and just focusing on their football, so that we can take a trip down to Europe and try to represent Gambia with a strong team and win something for our nation. I have a very long-term plan. Right now, we just want the kids to be together, know each other very well, train hard, because the long-term plan, the kids are still young, and one day I hope they can represent the country in the national team.
In June 2007, the academy was formally inaugurated by high-profile government officials and major stakeholders in Gambian sports. Njogu's biography was read to the public, as many only heard about his name without knowing much about him.
He attended Bakau Primary School for 2 years. In 1989, he traveled to Sweden in the city of Falun. After 4 months in Falun city, he attended the Britsabet school. During his schooling, he trained and played in the school team. He was selected to play for his region in a youth championship tournament. At the age of 16, Njogu signed his first professional contract with a second division team, Falun BS, in Gothenburg, Sweden. It is during this time that the idea of his academy came into his mind. When he was asked about his future plans by his team assistant coach, Kenneth. In his positive response, the coach was highly impressed, as Njogu promised to establish a football academy in the Gambia. With perseverance, dedication, and courage, a dream way back in the early 90s has been realized as we witness the launching of the academy today. Pursuing his career in football, Njogu signed his second professional contract with Yanini, a second division team in Greece, for 6 months. Njogu appeared in 11 matches with 8 goals, leading the team to first division. Njogu transferred to another Greece team, that's Aris FC, becoming the top scorer of the Greek league with 14 goals. He was selected to play in the best 11 foreign players against All-Star team, where he gained the title of the most valued player in the year 2003-2004. Becoming an expensive and experienced player in Greece, Njogu was signed by Panathinaikos for 2.5 years. The team was crowned both the league and the FA Cup winner in his first year and a league winner in the second season, leading him to a bad injury for 6 months. The injury makes him return to the Scandinavia in Denmark, where he was signed by his present team, EFB Esbjerg.
The Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces is also the first Vice President of the Gambia Football Association.
We, the Gambia Football Association, as the governing body of football in this country, have a mandate to develop and promote this game that we all cherish. And therefore, if a person in the likes of Njogu Demba comes with this brilliant idea and set up this academy, which is geared towards complementing the efforts of the Gambia Football Association in developing and promoting this game, that all what the Gambia Football Association has to do is to thank Njogu Demba most sincerely and give him the support that he deserves. You are not selfish. You are aware of the fact that one day or the other, you have to retire from football, and some other people have to take over your boots and represent this great nation. I also want to call on other Gambian professionals abroad. Yes, Rome was not built in a day, but something must start, and Njogu has started. And I want them also to emulate this bright example of Njogu Demba.
The Secretary of State responsible for sports was very delighted at Njogu's move.
President Jammeh was saying it, and I think Njogu has put it into practice. You need patriotic Gambians to build up Gambia. This gentleman here could have been in Sweden, in Scandinavia, or any part of the world, and thinking that that's the end of the world, because that's what some people think. They may have a few dollars with them, or a few pounds, they have some car, they live in an apartment or a nice house, they think that's the end of the world. I'm saying that's not. You know what is the end of the world? Is to come back and give back to your country. We have to thank God for this day. We thank all those who had contributed to what Njogu is today. We thank Njogu because he could have been, as I said, an island by himself. And he thinks that he's made it. He's a national player, he's a professional player, and he can go and make a living anywhere in the world. But this man said, no, I think I need to reciprocate the solidarity. I think I need to give back to Gambia. And there's nothing more noble than coming back home and gathering children, students of this age group, and said, I want you to start learning to be a patriotic citizen of the Gambia. And we are very proud of Njogu today, and we are very proud of the sports fraternity. And I want to once again take the opportunity to thank Njogu and call on the rest of the stakeholders, rest of Gambians, to know that there is nowhere like home. You can have miracles happening anywhere around the world, that's fine, that's good luck to you. But this is your home, and we have to be proud of this country. And it's everybody, a sportsman, contributes like Njogu Demba does. Before you know it, in another 15, 16, 17 years, this country will be where the president needs it. But we need everybody on board. So I implore all of you, as the general calls you, students, to respect your tutors, to be very, very prepared, to have the faith that you can do it.
The reasons for Njogu to come up with this brilliant idea of setting up a soccer academy, as he put it, is to give Gambian children the opportunity he did not have as a child in the Gambia.
I tried really hard to reach the place where I am right now. And I felt like I really need to do something for my country, the Gambia, and Bakau. It's very important for me because I had good training in Sweden, and I think everybody here in the Gambia deserves to have the same thing, because I know the youth of Gambia today, we have so much talent. Football, we all have football in our blood, but football is not only to play. Sometimes you even need to read football on paper, watch football on TV to learn. And I felt like this is one of my dreams coming true. To see the young boys and girls in the Gambia having things I didn't have as a kid. All good stuff to play football with, to become something, keep the dreams alive, the hope alive. It's all about Gambia, to represent Gambia. Someday, inshallah, I hope all of these kids will play for the national team. Because there's really something I want to say. I mean, the first time I played for the Gambia, it was against Algeria. And I was in the starting lineup. And they played the national anthem. I was crying. It's a feeling I want all the kids to one day feel. It's something I cannot explain. So that's the reason why I'm going to do my level best to take this academy.
This office, which was unveiled on June 21st, 2007, was constructed to the tune of about $4,000 US, as it serves as the nerve center of the academy. The office has an internet connection for the monitoring of sporting activities around the world. The Academy is currently building a website so as to make it accessible to the whole world.